Dr. Katie Garahan. I am the Writing Center Director, and I also am a faculty member in the English department. I teach right now freshman writing.
How did you kind of end up in Radford?
So I did my master's and my PhD at Virginia Tech, and I just finished in May. And Radford had a job position open that was kind of perfect for me, and that was assistant professor in the English department and the Writing Center Director. So I have been working in writing centers since I was an undergraduate student. I worked in my undergraduate writing center. I went to Gardner-Webb, which Gardner-Webb is in Radford's conference. I actually played college golf at Gardner-Webb, so I I've been to Radford before and played tournaments in the area. And so I worked in my undergraduate writing center, and I loved my undergraduate writing center. It was a very welcoming and comfortable place. And then I taught high school for 4 years in North Carolina, and went back to get my graduate degree, got my master's at Virginia Tech, and worked in the Writing Center at Virginia Tech. And then did my PhD at Virginia Tech, and I also worked in the Writing Center then, and was the assistant to the Writing Center Director while I was getting my PhD. So Writing Center work has always been part of what I've done.
Just a big focus
Absolutely.
for you to be able to help out with that.
So my PhD is in rhetoric and writing.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, you sound more than qualified for it.
Oh, thank you.
If that helps. Okay, so as you've taken over the Writing Center, what are the kind of general overview for what the Writing Center can provide? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, writing centers as a whole, so Writing Center is a field of study. Writing centers are a field of study. And so the general idea, what Writing Center people say and like to think about writing centers is that they're a place to cultivate a community of writers, and we help writers at any skill level. So the Writing Center is not just a place for someone who feels like they're struggling, or who have been told that they're struggling, or maybe who've been told that they're not very good writers. We're a place that can help any writers who are at any skill level, and who maybe have lots of experience or don't have so much experience in writing. Our Writing Center does prioritize and focus more on freshman writing right now. And generally, Writing Centers tend to see freshmen quite a bit, because freshmen are often taking writing courses, and the introductory writing courses here and generally in colleges tend to be an introduction to here's the kind of writing you're going to be doing in the academy and when you leave as well. So writing centers are a place where you can work one-on-one with a tutor who's been expertly trained. The tutors in our center are either undergraduates who focused in writing, graduate students who are getting their masters in the English department, and we also have a few instructors of writing. So it's for students to come in, sit down one-on-one with a writing tutor, and really have a conversation about a piece of writing they're working on, or their writing skills in general. So our goal is to help students with writing, but really at a sort of a more meta level, our goal is to help students hone and develop their writing skills. So we hope that when students visit the Writing Center, and we encourage students to visit often, you can visit the Writing Center more than once on one assignment, for instance. It's to help you get in the groove of learning and understanding your own personal writing process. So writing is different for everyone. There's no right way or wrong way to necessarily do it. And so we offer a very individualized tutoring experience. If that makes sense.
It does. And honestly, I'm kind of backing that process for it. Writing has been just personally something very difficult for myself.
Absolutely.
And so getting in, one-on-one help honestly was the quickest way that I became more proficient and was able to focus more on my own weaknesses and get through it.
I mean, writing is like when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see your face, it always looks the same to you. You know, writing's like that. It's like you look at your writing, you see the same things. It's hard for people to look at their own writing and revise it and make it better. I mean, writing teachers are always saying revise your writing, and people should revise their own writing. But every person who's a writer can benefit from someone else giving them feedback.
Yeah.
Professional writers don't just sit in their house and write and then turn things in. They get feedback from editors and friends and family members. And I always teach my students early on in the semester that no one thinks writing's easy. It's not easy. No one thinks it's easy. It's hard for everybody. You read, you know, famous books about writing, like Stephen King's On Writing, for instance.
I actually just picked that book
Oh,
up.
really? Good. I mean, he's even talking about how, like, it's not like and he's one of the most prolific writers probably ever. I mean, he's written so many books that lots of people read. And
I think James Patterson and Lee Child are about the only two I know of that have him topped.
in that group, he might be one of the, you know,
he's definitely
up there, right? And even he talks about how, like, writing for him some days is like pulling teeth because it's not easy. It's never easy, and no one is just permanently forever bad at writing unless you don't try. You can always improve. You can always get better. And so, I mean, when I was getting my PhD in writing, I took my dissertation to a writing tutor and had them, you know, give me feedback because
Kind of
you
an
get so
important
caught
paper.
up in your own, exactly. Kind of important. You get so, you know, my students are like, how can I write 5 pages? I was like, I just wrote 250 pages. You could do 5. You get so caught up in your own head that it's really helpful to have a conversation and to have that kind of collaboration. And that's the thing about a Writing Center tutorial or a Writing Center one-to-one consultation, is it's conversational. The writing tutor is not sitting down with you and marking all over your paper and telling you what you did wrong. That's not what's happening in a Writing Center session. You're having a dialogue about your writing, and ultimately to get better.
You know, the Writing Center does a lot for us. It's highly personalized whenever a student's going to walk in there. And it sounds like you probably have quite a few staff members as well. I know for a fact you have Jessica Mundy as well, and Riley as well. She's actually one of the editors for Whim.
Oh, nice.
And Jessica Mundy is the editor-in-chief for Exit 109.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Student Media definitely loves the
great.
Writing Center.
That's
We're very
awesome.
excited
Everybody
about
should love the Writing Center.
So, knowing, you know, having worked in them for so long, you know how much work they are. Why, you know, I can kind of ask, like, why you wanted the job.
Sure.
But it also sounds like this has been an ongoing passion for you. This is nothing. This is nothing you saw on the, you know, on Indeed.com and were like, yeah, I can do that. No. So
why do I continue doing it?
Yeah. Why do you continue doing it? What's kept you so invested in it?
Sure. I mean, I've seen what writing centers have done for people, all kinds of different kinds of people, and the kind of thing they have, how they have helped freshmen, how they've helped PhD students who are in their 50s, you know, coming back to school. And I think that comes from some of the individualized feedback and work that we do with people. Also, it's very personal and can sometimes be almost a little intimate. You know, you're sharing your thoughts with another person, and that person is, you know, you're kind of bearing your souls to each other a little bit. And I think for me, I learned about, as someone who's been a writing tutor, I've learned about writing from students. It's a two-way street in writing centers. Tutors are also getting a lot from the experience, and that's something that I want to make sure happens in the writing center. I also think that, especially for freshmen, and like I said, our writing center does gear ourselves a little bit to our freshman writers, and I think freshmen can feel lost when they come to school, when they come to college. They can feel like they've come, you know, many of them have come from a you know, family where their parents are telling them when to do their work and you know, reminding them that things need to get done, and they have teachers who know, every one of their teachers knows their name, probably knows quite a bit about them, and then they're coming to college, and that might not always be the case. And I think the Writing Center can be a place where you have one person sitting down with you who is invested for that time, and anytime you're coming in, who's invested in you, not just in the piece of paper you have in front of you, but you as a person and you as a writer, and making sure that you know you have the support to succeed in this place, and that you don't come in to get fixed. You don't come in to get told you're not good at something. You come in to learn with someone how to improve that skill you already have, because all of you can write. You know, every student who comes here can write. It's just interesting how the word write comes, I think, in some people's mind to mean this unattainable thing that they're never going to be able to do. But no, you can write. It's just a muscle that you're growing. I mean, you can think of the writing center like a gym.
Yeah.
It's you're growing muscles you already have. You're just making them stronger. So I think I've seen, for me personally too, what a writing center, how it can make you feel connected, and how it can make you feel like you're part of a community. And I think that's just as important as getting better at writing.
Where precisely is
The writing center?
The writing center.
So the writing center is in Chubbs, the College of Humanities and Behavioral Sciences.
Behavioral science.
It's in Chubbs, and it is 4,800, and it's directly above the Starbucks. So if you go up the stairs next to Starbucks and you turn left, the writing center is right next to the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's fairly easy to find if you know where the Starbucks is.
And no, yeah, Chubbs is its own little labyrinth, so I can
It
see
is a labyrinth,
that
but we are so easy to find. I know it might sound like scary to come in Chubbs and try to find the writing center, but just find Starbucks and make your way on top of it, and you'll be in the writing center.
Okay. And so we've kind of already gone over like common struggles as well. A lot of it, you kind of mentioned earlier, the focus of getting us past, as writers, getting us past kind of our hang-ups, the struggles we run into. What are some of the more common struggles you've seen, and how, like, the reason for going to the Writing Center, how are we going to get past these? How are you going to help the students do that?
Sure. I often find that students are sometimes unsure about what they're supposed to be doing in their assignments. So we can help students, look at their assignments and help them figure out exactly how to respond to the rhetorical situation they're given. That is this essay, their assignment. So we encourage students when they come to bring their assignment sheets, so we can make sure to help them in the ways that their professor, wants them to write. Students have a lot of trouble getting started with assignments. I think that we hear this is the ubiquitous saying of like the staring at the blank page, looking at the blinking cursor, like terrified to begin. And I've been there, of course. And we also can help students get started with brainstorming. Because sometimes all you need is just to sit down with someone and say, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I would like to write about, and just have someone say, hey, that sounds pretty good. Let's think through that and look at see what that would look like. I think getting started is maybe one of the hardest parts of writing. I think students struggle with that moment where you've written your rough draft, so you have something down. Now what? I think that it's hard for anyone to look at their own writing and kind of wade through it and see what are the pieces, how do the pieces fit together? Have I, expanded on the pieces in the necessary way? Do I have evidence to back up my points and things like that? And we can definitely help with that, because just having an outside reader at all can help you figure out what it is you said, and of course our tutors are trained to do that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think those, getting started and revising once you've got something, are probably the hardest parts. Be here to support Radford writers.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
And hopefully, we'll after sessions start, maybe we can do a follow-up
Sounds
to
good.
it.